Hello everyone and welcome to the first ever episode of Rot or Ripe.
The show where we pick out video game fashion and tell you if it's rot or ripe.
Are you rot or ripe?
So on the first ever episode, we're going to be taking a look at the shiny versions of all the new Pokemon in the Paldea region of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And we're going to be telling you guys if we think they're rot or ripe. Time to spill the tea. It does have a nice kind of jungle green to it. The eyes have like kind of that, like, I guess you could say violet look to them.
I especially like the eyes, the eye change.
Mm-hmm.
Green to a darker green is not that groundbreaking. It's like kind of middle ground.
But I'm gonna give it a ripe.
It's a solid ripe for me. It's gonna be pretty much the same opinion. Again, the eye color change is I would prefer the purple eyes. The darker green, yeah, I think it's still a solid. I would give it a ripe.
The purple accents got smaller.
More purple?
Yeah, spread the purple a little more around somewhere. I think I'm actually gonna give this one a rot.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this one got worse as it evolved. The colors, they popped out more on the other forms. I'm gonna have to rot this one as well.
I was a fan of the eyes, but in this form, you can hardly see it. And then the collar is the only purple thing I see. So yeah, I'm gonna rot this one. I like this one. I think it's a nice pink. The square on the belly should have been a different color, perhaps. It's a ripe. It's okay. It's okay. Middle ground.
I'm gonna ripe it as well. I think this is actually the best of the first stage starters. I do love the pink. It feels very grayed out, like very saturated. I'm gonna have to rot this one.
I'm gonna rot it because they ignored the top part. And then my issue with the yellow stripes are still present.
I like the pinks, they pop out again. My only problem is the flames. A blue flame, even a black flame. Like get a little crazy with it. I'm gonna ripe it though.
That was a bit of a missed opportunity, so I'm gonna ripe it, but it's not that high.
I love the blue. I think he should have changed to like a black duckling. I'm gonna have to rot it. Sorry, Quaxley.
I would have liked to see it in maybe a navy color, a navy blue, but I am still gonna rot it for the beak not changing the color that they went with.
I'm gonna spill some tea right now. I hate Quaxwell. I think it is the fuggliest of the three. Having the dark blue with the light blue looks fine. The beak and the feet, the webbed feet should have been a different color. A gray. It's a rot. Okay, 2 rots across the board. I am not mad about that. Sorry, Quaxwell, not sorry.
I have mixed feelings about this. Like it's noticeably different. Now the color is faded a bit.
It's almost like a purple. Lilac, like a lavender.
I'll ripe it. I'll be positive here.
I'm gonna ripe it as well. It's pretty good. It's not great, but it's pretty good. Oh my goodness.
Ripe.
Yeah. Immediate ripe.
Right off the tree, ripe.
She's fresh. She is moist. She is juicy. Fashion. Love it. Fierce energy. I love it. I'm gonna ripe this right off the bat as well.
I like the different shaded pinks that are in here. It's also a high ripe.
She's still sassy. She's still, serving Charlotte's Web could never on the runway. I'm gonna ripe it. It still looks good.
So yes, this is still a ripe, just a notch lower than the male.
This is what I want when I see a shiny. I'm gonna ripe it. I love it. I love the contrast of the red and black.
It even gives me like different yarn ball. Like it goes from white to red. So yes, this is a high ripe.
On the other side of the spectrum, I don't like the pink. I think it should have stayed red and black. So I'm gonna rot this one.
Yes, it's a completely different color from the original, but maybe it needed more red on the upper body. So I'm gonna continue to ripe it, but it's not gonna be that high. It's gonna be like borderline ripe. If you're gonna be an ugly Pokemon, at least have a nice color palette.
I'm gonna ripe this one right off the bat. very noticeable. I honestly like the shiny version better than the regular version, so it checks all the boxes.
It's a ripe on the color. Just I kind of wish the Pokemon was a little bigger and brighter.
I think this one's also a ripe for me. It pops out pretty well.
It's still good.
Yeah.
And it's a bigger Pokemon, so I'm gonna give it a ripe for that.
Okay.
Instant ripe. It's a good one.
Ripe, yeah, ripe.
It's very small,
Yeah.
but the shiny is so different and bright. You're gonna see it.
I will say the pink is a little more desaturated here.
Looks like cotton candy.
Oh, very cotton candy. Now I want cotton candy or cotton candy ice cream. All right, so ripe from both of us. This one actually fixed the problems I had with the second form because it went back to that kind of like hot pink color that Pommy had. I'm gonna ripe this right off the bat as well.
Terrible, rotten to the core.
Yeah, rot right off the
That's
bat.
gonna be the worst rotten for me. We're gonna call it rotten to the core. Same notes.
And because there's 3 or potentially 4 of them in this one, I'm just gonna rate them the same because it's still gonna be a rot either way.
The kids don't even have anything different, I feel.
Yeah, the kids are naked and they stay naked.
Won't somebody please think of the children?
They're both good.
Yeah.
Like, the first one looks like uncooked dough, and then the other one looks maybe finished to like in the middle of being baked.
Like a maple donut.
Yeah, so I'm gonna ripe it. I'm gonna ripe both of them. Like, I know it's not the shiny, but I'm gonna ripe it.
So I'm gonna ripe it as well. This one's another toughie. We lost the frosting, kind of. Like, it almost looks like a normal dog instead of like part pastry. It's a mild ripe.
Kind of reminds me of like a Cinnabon.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a ripe, but it's a bit lower than Fido.
The fact that you're a fruit already, you are ripe. You are ready. You are ready to be plucked from the bunch.
I'm glad that the shiny is the black olive because I do not like green olives personally,
Same.
so I can eat black olives. Solid ripe. I like this one a lot more. I like the darker green, and the olives are still there. They look like hairpins, kind of.
That's how I see it, like it's part of its hair.
I think it's a big upgrade, and it's a bigger ripe for me.
Just copy and paste pretty much what you said. It's a ripe.
And her name is Dolliv. That's adorable.
Dolliv.
Like, I want to party with her, Corellia, and Gothitelle.
Party.
She's above everybody. Look at that.
She is.
That
she,
face.
She does kind of have that snotty look to her, but this one's a ripe as well.
Maybe it's a little bit lower than Dolliv, but it's still a ripe for me. It's a good one.
This one has 4 different forms, so we're going to be looking at each one kind of quickly.
As far as I'm concerned, they're all rotten to the core. Missed opportunity, I feel.
It's a rot for me, you guys. It's going to be rots across the board.
Well, just as I thought, trash.
The orange does pop out. I kind of wish it was pink, like a Himalayan salt.
Ooh, okay.
So I'll ripe it.
Okay. I think it's a solid ripe. I actually like both ideas here.
Besides serving me Minecraft here, I feel like we lose a little bit of the orange, but it still pops up quite a bit. I'll give it a ripe.
Maybe a little better due to the colors blending better together. So I'll give it a ripe.
Yeah, this one's a pretty good one. I'll give it a ripe.
So this one is going to be the higher ripe of the 3.
Do you remember those bonus levels in Super Mario Sunshine? You were jumping on platforms made of sand and they would disintegrate. It gives me that sand
He
block.
wore the stage.
Yeah, he wore the bonus stage.
Trash.
Yeah, rotten.
Why did they just do the eyes?
So much potential here too. This one's even worse because your eyes are so tiny compared to the rest of you.
Yep.
It's a rot. This one's even worse. I don't know how it's worse, but it's worse than the Scarlet version.
Even the eyes at this point is not that noticeable.
It's a rot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a rot.
There are different light bulbs out there. A shiny bulb could have been a different color. I'm gonna rot it.
Okay, this one's ripe.
Way better.
Ripe. You are an electric Pokemon. You are adorable. you are chunky, and the yellow just complements it.
I like it. Maybe higher above ripe. It's kind of a mixed bag for me. I'm gonna go ahead and ripe it, but it's borderline ripe.
It's a rot for me. I like this one better, but I actually think I prefer the non-shiny of this version more than the regular one. I like the black. I'm gonna rot it.
I like the original color better. Rotten.
I'm gonna ripe this one. I like the kind of grayish purple they've got going on, and you can tell you're a dark Pokemon.
This color on the original is too similar to Dash Buns. The shiny is an improvement for me. Oh, that is such a pretty color. Pretty color combination there. It's a higher ripe for me.
Still a ripe for me. I do prefer this over the normal one. I would feed this pup a sandwich any day. Because this Pokemon is all face, it's all head, the eyes are like 75% of your body. It could have been better though. Pretty like low ripe.
I kind of like the original one better. I'm gonna rot this one.
It's different. I don't know if it's a good different though.
I'm gonna rot it.
Okay.
Yeah, the colors don't make sense to me.
I actually like the normal version's paint better. I'm gonna have to rot this as well.
I kind of wish the eyes were different. The tips I actually like. It went from brown to white, but I'm still not mad at the original one though. I'm gonna give it a solid ripe on this.
It's a safe ripe.
Dramatically different. Like, I think everything is different. Yeah.
Except the purple.
The purple tips. But out of all the parts to stay, the purple tips go good with the new colors.
She got her tips done at the salon.
Yeah, high ripe for me.
It's a ripe for me as well. Ripe.
Ripe.
Such a good shiny. It is so different.
It's drastically different from the original one, and it looks threatening. It looks, I know it's not poison, but it looks like it will do damage. It looks like an alien. High ripe for me.
So I'm riping it. Yeah, I love this shiny.
This is a high ripe. Yeah, the colors are perfect. Such a nice blue.
Fresh from the tree. It's a ripe. I like this one. Yes, because you're such a tiny Pokemon, you still have to kind of look, but I think it's different enough. I'm gonna ripe it.
A safe ripe because it doesn't change the headpiece.
I'm disappointed with this one because I'm such a spicy bitch. I'm a sucker for spicy food. There's so many different colored peppers out there. You could have had an orange pepper and a yellow pepper. I love this Pokemon, but it's a rot.
It's a rotten for me.
Ripe. You went from rolling around shit to rolling around gold, so
it's gonna be a ripe for me. They won the lotto, so the ball should have changed color. Maybe inverted at least, so that the red is on the outside and the pink is on the inside. I'm gonna rot it.
It just looks incomplete to me, so I'm gonna have to rot it as well.
So Flittle is little. I've seen this in the wild, and you gotta peek under that. You gotta peek at that skirt. That's the only way you're really gonna tell. Her private area,
her diaper
is a darker brown. I'm gonna give it a rot for a missed opportunity.
I'm gonna give it a rot as well. Ripe. The black and the white and the purple, giving me Sandworm from Beetlejuice vibes.
I'm gonna ripe it, but the neck part, you know how it's purple and black? That should also go down to the legs.
I agree.
I think the bronze should have been the original, and then the shiny should have been silver or gold. And then the bodies are the same.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to rotten it.
I'm gonna have to rot it as well. I'm sorry, and I love this Pokemon.
Same notes. It's gonna be the same notes for me. It's a rot.
I'm gonna rot it. I think we've gotten to the point where the hammer is bigger than the Pokemon, so now I'm gonna give this a safe, like a very low ripe.
I'm still gonna rot it because the hammer is half of the Pokemon. So right. It's all right.
Yeah, it's a ripe for me too, guys. It's completely different. It's a callback because Diglett had a shiny with a blue nose. This one I love even more. It's completely different, and the two Pokemon side by side are a nice contrast from each other. Right.
So I'm gonna give it a high ripe.
It definitely looks more like a dark type now. With that said, it's a rot. It's not that different looking to me.
It gives me like that horror movie Birds. It looks like a old movie theater bird.
Yes.
I'm gonna give it a ripe.
This one's a ripe for me, but I think I actually like the regular one a little more.
I'm gonna give it a ripe. I think both are good. But I do like the eyes on the shiny more.
It almost looks the same to the other form, yeah.
Same opinion. Maybe the heart should have been a different color.
Ripe, I like the black. I think I actually like this one more than the regular one.
This is a clear ripe for me. The colors, they go well together. This is borderline ripe for me. It's not that creative. The bottom part's the same.
It's a ripe for me as well. The black and gold complement each other very nicely, and I prefer the shiny version.
Same notes here. The bottom could have been different somehow, but the color matches the top part, so I think it's fine. Solid ripe for me.
It's a ripe for me. Same notes I said pretty much on the other one. I wish the bottom portion, especially because this one, the bottom portion is bigger now.
Boring.
Yeah. It's different, but it's boring. I don't know what it's giving me.
It's giving you a normal dragon.
I'm gonna ripe it, but it's like borderline.
It's gonna be a rot for me. It's a ripe. I just wish the underbelly was also blue.
So I think a black underbelly would have been nice. But it's a ripe. I love the blue. It's a ripe. It's a ripe for me. I love the shiny version more than the regular version.
It's a solid ripe for me. It's noticeably different, but it's also doesn't take away from the original one. Yeah, same notes here, just a bit more, you know, like the body is a bigger blue, so.
Same notes pretty much. It's a ripe for me. It definitely looks nicer when it opens up, like the flower effect of it.
Okay. I do like the body's color. I just wish the candle was a different color. Maybe give it like a black candle wick and then maybe a blue flame, or you can even leave the flame. The flame could be fine. Solid ripe.
The shiny version looks less unalive. It looks more like a regular dog and less like a ghost dog. It's ripe for me though. It's a nice shiny. I think this one's actually a rot for me. The first form was such a pop, like yellow pop in your face.
Yeah, the body is the same color, the skeletal body, but it also looks like it's been dead for a while.
It does, yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a borderline ripe.
I'm gonna be a little biased here. I love flamingos, and I think changing the color to any other color besides pink would be an injustice to flamingos everywhere. I like that it's more of a pastel pink. I'm gonna ripe it.
The beak and the legs could change, but I'm not mad at the color change on the body. A solid ripe.
Yeah, because like what other color would you make a flamingo? Like that would make sense.
I mean, you know I'm probably gonna say black.
But it's a flamingo. It's serving me Halloween. Like Halloween in the snow tops. I'll ripe it.
It does give a little bit of spooky vibes. It's a high ripe for me.
Ooh.
Yes, bitch, work. Okay, like I think it's a darker black, so that's always nice. And then the orange is, you know, like sprinkled throughout, ripe off the tree.
Yeah, same for me. It's ripe. It's ready to get picked. I think the green pops just fine. It's a safe shiny. You know, I'm gonna give it a light ripe.
I'm gonna give it a middle ripe.
Like it's almost popping out of a Japanese painting of a koi fish, and I like it. I'm gonna give this a ripe. I like the colors complement each other.
I'm actually gonna give this one a rotten. The blue that was on the fins, it's blended inside it, like on the shiny. The dots on in between the eyes, because it's yellow, it's kind of hard to see with the gray.
This one's a light ripe for me. Just the orange. If it was a different color, it would have been there.
I like it more than the original, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a solid ripe.
Okay, this one's vastly different. I'm gonna ripe it right away.
It's too much all one color. It kind of reminds me of Gen 1 Chinese. Give the fin, the top fin, the pink. Rotten. Lazy.
Yeah, this one's lazy. It looks like the first form. It's the same colors as the first form. It's a rot, so rot for you.
Yeah. It's a ripe. It's a darker blue. It's a solid upgrade.
The white fur could have been a little darker.
Put some of that gray in.
Yeah, other than that, I like it. I'll give it a ripe.
I think it's fine. The whole thing changes.
Yeah.
Except for the eye, but can't do much with that. Yeah, it's a safe ripe. It's fine.
Yeah, it's a ripe. It's not like wowing me or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. You go from like a typical orange to like a blood orange or like a kind of sunset orange. It's a ripe for me. And then even the legs change colors.
They're both pretty evenly matched here, so I'm gonna give it an okay ripe.
I'm gonna give this a ripe. I like the pink more than the, well, I don't know if I like it more, but I like it.
I'm gonna give it a rotten. It's too similar to Dunsparce. It's supposed to be the evolution.
Yeah, I guess they could have changed the shiny form to at least be different. I like the blue. His nips pop out more. Or whatever those are. They look like little pasties on your nipples. I don't know.
That's a terrible word. Nipple.
I'm gonna give it a ripe. I like the blue more than the red.
Solid upgrade. The tip of the blade on his mustache blade could be also blue.
Oh.
But I guess it matches the nipples too.
The nipples are the eyes of the face.
It's a ripe. It's fine.
I kind of like the pink. I kind of missed that. It's a nice shiny and it's different enough. So I think I'm gonna ripe it.
I'm gonna ripe it, but I'm curious to see what the test would have looked like with the brown.
Or a black.
It's a high ripe. The eyes are different. Her whole body is different. Her tail is a different shade of pink. Jigglypuff shinies, if you saw, like, was not much different.
Yeah.
And this time they thought about her and they gave her a shiny worth calling a shiny.
This one fixes Jigglypuff's shiny problem. She is pissed off. She needs some clear eye. She may have some pink eye problem going on. She looks more menacing. It's a ripe for me. Still has that great ball look to it. I'm gonna ripe it. I think this one's even better than Amungus's.
Instead of the Great Ball, maybe it could have been time to make it look like the Ultra Ball.
Yeah.
It's a safe one, so it's gonna get a safe ripe. It's a high ripe. I know it's very similar to Mischievous, but everything, her whole body is different. Her tendrils.
And it's so funny she gets that one white tendril.
Well, I mean, I know all about that. I have a patch of white hair as well, so I relate.
Yeah, it's a high ripe for me too. This was actually our first shiny in the game. It's a ripe for me. It's a safe ripe.
I like the original one more. High ripe.
Yeah.
I like the metallic gold. Like, I know I said gold is easy to make look good, but metallic gold with the black looks really good.
Regular Magneton's colors were this color too, wasn't it? It was black
Yes.
and gold. Yeah, I'm gonna ripe it as well. Yeah, I like the black and gold. I see what they were going for though with the violet ones. They wanted to make them look more robot-like even more by giving them that kind of like chromatic look. I just think the black and red looks better. So I'm gonna give this a light rot.
Solid rot. I think the original one looks way better. I like them both. It doesn't take too much away from it, but it's still its own thing. It's gonna be a solid ripe for me.
It's a solid ripe for me as well. I like both, just like you said. One serving me Robot Santa, the other one serving me Robot Chicken. I will say I like the shiny version better. Yeah, just because you look more like a menacing robot without the blues in there. But it's... I really had to look for this one. It gave me trouble, so I'm gonna rot it.
I'm gonna give it a light ripe because it tells me it's electric more because it's diving into the yellow and steel together, and that gives me electric vibes.
I think the metallic look looks better on it because you're a futuristic Pokemon. So I'm gonna give it a light ripe.
I'm gonna give it a solid rotten.
Ooh.
I like the original one way better. It tells me it's a dark type. The colors don't blend well with me.
I like the shiny. It's definitely serving me more of a robot. I just wish there was more.
It's gonna be a light ripe for me. It's not terrible. I think it's not bad.
I was borderline already, but I mean, it's not a bad shiny. It's not. It definitely looks more of its robot. Yeah, a light ripe.
Maybe the tips should have been purple or something to go with, to make it look poison.
I think with these Violet, I can't tell with these Violet exclusive shinies if they got lazy because they did the Scarlet ones first, or if they just wanted to make them look more like menacing robots. So I know we've been kind of mixed on the whole like chromatic silver look on these Pokemon, but I think this one fits so well on Iron Thorns or future Tyranitar, whatever you want to call him.
Jason X.
Yes, very that. Like he looks like he's gonna pop out in a horror movie and break through the walls and chase your ass down in like a space station orbiting Mars or something. Yeah, it's a ripe. I love it.
It's just the inside green matches the silver a lot more.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's why I like it more. So I'm gonna give it a high ripe actually.
The one on the right is definitely serving me more of an ice type. I'm gonna ripe it. It's fine. It's more of an ice type, I would say. It's not bad. It's not great.
Flaps hanging down his hands. Even though they don't match his eyes, I do think they go well together. Maybe a little bit more. So it's a safe ripe.
Yeah. Okay, this one's way better. Yeah, I like the blue more, the light blue more. The pink on the, what the heck are those even? I thought they were its fingernails for a second, but no, its fingernails are right there. This is a pretty solid ripe. I like it. It serves Ice Dragon to me.
The orange kind of doesn't make sense on the hands at this point. But again, on the shiny, it kind of blends. It's gonna be another safe ripe for me.
Okay, so it kept the pink on the hands, but I think it lost a little of that blue that was making it pop before. I think I like the shiny more though. It's a ripe for me.
The feet could have been pink.
You want the pink spread out.
I want
a
the
little
pink
more.
to be a little more, like even on the knee pads maybe.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't have been mad at that.
Yeah, it's gonna be another safe ripe for me.
No,
there's leaked footage, but it doesn't show it here.
Yeah, but I'm not even gonna bother looking it up for you guys because it's not different at all.
I mean, you heard me. I was already going to call it rotten because they're practically the same.
Yeah, practically. So it's a rot for both. The shinies for the legendaries, the 4 kind of hidden legendaries in the game, and Gimme Goal, but we already talked about him, aren't in the game at the moment and they're unobtainable, but they have been leaked online, so we're just going to be taking a quick look at those. Pretty vast difference, I would say. I think the pink and the green are pretty different. I'm gonna give this one a ripe.
I might give it a rot, honestly, because they added red leaves, and it would have been so nice if the rest of the leaves were orange to give it like a fall.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I agree with you there.
To give it fall leaves.
I like its shiny form more, actually. It looks definitely more ferocious. And it already looked ferocious. So, yeah, the black and that kind of... The black just goes with a lot. like you've mentioned a lot before. So it's a pretty high ripe for me. I like it.
I like it better than the original colors, and these colors, they work well together, so I'm gonna give it a ripe.
It's a rot. It's not that big of a change for me.
I think it's an upgrade from the original.
Oh yeah,
but it's gonna be the safest ripe to me. Like it barely makes it to a ripe.
Blue Flames, I always love Blue Flames. I think it's a great way to change up a flame, so it's a pretty high ripe for me. I like it.
It's a high ripe for me. It doesn't take away from the original one. Looks good. It says I'm a different variant because it's blue with black trim. I love that, so it's a high ripe for me.
Yeah, pretty solid. I think it's the best of the 4.
I like it. The trim, the yellow trim is nice. It goes with the whiskers and the scales that are protruding out of his arms. It's a solid ripe for me.
Same notes pretty much as you. It's a callback to Salamance's shiny, but it also changed things up. Yeah, it's a pretty solid ripe for me. I'm gonna give this one a ripe right off the bat. I like it. It definitely gives me more. I'm a robot bitch with a mission. I am going to assassinate you and end your existence. And yeah, I think the pink complements the silver way more than the green. She looks like a badass robot bitch.
I like it. I'm gonna give it a ripe, but I will say I'm curious to know what it would have looked like with the, say the green on the original was put on the blades and the eyes and, you know, like pretty much everywhere where the pink is. I like it. It doesn't take away from the original, and yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I need to see it in motion, but from what I can tell, it looks like I like it. I'm gonna give it a solid ripe.
Same, solid ripe. This is what Triclazar should have been, like a more, you know, badass looking motorcycle. It definitely looks more ferocious to me than the regular form. Yeah, it's a solid ripe. I'm not mad about it. It's a good shiny. So it looks like it's keeping in theme with all my Violet exclusives having that silver chromatic look to it. I like it. It's just it's not as good as yours. I'm just gonna say it. But it does the chromatic silver very well. Yeah, it looks like you just got a shiny new motorcycle. Like you just won a brand new motorcycle type of thing. So it's a ripe for me.
I like it. It's a ripe. I actually like the belly because it kind of looks like a TV screen.
Oh,
And not a lot of Pokemon can do that with those colors, so I like it for that. That brings out the futuristic look to me more than this chrome thing that they've been trying to do with all the Pokemon. So for that, I'm gonna give it a ripe.
Our precious ripe goes to
Lechonk.
Oink oink, bitches.
Best pig in show. Squeal for me.
Pork chopped.
And
our
our
rancid
rancid
rot
rot
goes
goes
to
to
Tandemouse.
Tandemouse.
Gee, the whole family could stay in the garbage.
The whole family's trash.
Okay, and that's gonna do it for the first ever official episode of Rot or Ripe. What did you guys think? Let us know in the comments below if you agreed or disagree with us.
What would you change on these Pokemon? Let us know.
And if you guys liked this video and you want to see more, go ahead and comment below and let us know what game you want us to check out next, and you may see it in an episode of Rot or Ripe.
And if you guys enjoyed our video, please remember to hit the like button. It really does help the algorithm going, and also subscribe if you haven't yet.
And you know, you can help the bears out. You'll be supporting us, letting us know we're doing a good job. And yeah, we will see you guys on another episode of Rot or Ripe coming to you soon. Bye.
Bye.